Everybody, it's Christine with Cocoa Daisy, and I have a ton of stamp sets to share with you for the Bookish collection, which is our March collection, as well as in this video I'm including the stamp set for our special order coffee kit. So I thought I'd throw that in here as well. Kind of have all of the stamp sets that we have going out this month all together. So I'm going to start out with this small stamp set that we have in our planner add-on. And it's pretty self-explanatory. You've got, you can stamp this on the inside of a journal or a book or a planner, and it has the property of. So that's a really cute little thing that we added in there. You can stamp it in different colors, not a lot of variation. I mean, you could layer this with a number of the other stamps if you get those as well, but on its own, that is the intent. And then these two are tracker stamps. So this one you could stamp alone, or you could repeat it, and it is actually a take on the sticky note pad that we have in the main planner kit. So you can see how these are, they're stamped, a bunch of them. You could do it the same way with the colors if you wanted to. And then you can do tracking. You could stamp just this part and then a bunch more of the circles like I did here, depending on what you want to track or how you want to track. So it gives you the flexibility because those are two separate stamp sets. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is if you want to combine these with some of the stickers. So there was a sticker set in the planner add-on as well that these little stickers will work on the sticky note pad as the little headers, or if you wanted to, you can use them as a header in here or just all on its own. So these are great little headers for tracking if you want to use them that way or for goals. So you can add them in that little part of the tracker. We do have, if you missed out on our March Bookish main planner kit, we do have other stickers in the store that I wanted to mention. We have there's doodle dates. These are the self-care to-do stickers. We have days of the week, we have chores, I have weather, I have those, trackers, and then these are from the minimalist collection, and then that again is the chores one. But what I did is some of these you could work with the tracker. So if you missed out on those, we do have other stickers that you can combine with those as well. And the cool thing is if you have a highlighter, an easy way to mark those is to just dot them off and then you can do your tracking. So that is the stamp set that was part of the planner add-on. All right, and then we are going to move to this one here, which is part of the Modern Memory Keeping Kit. And let me show you the stamp sets. And I'm excited to tell you, so a couple things that I keep forgetting to do. We have a acrylic block that is nice and thin, so you can actually keep this in your planner pouch. It has a hole in it. If you have rings, it will actually stay in your planner if you want it to. You can tuck this into a pocket in your planner. So it's super easy to use. It has the great grid for lining up. And what I do like is it is nice and thin. We do have those in the store. And so you can get one of those. It's got our cute little logo on the bottom. And then one thing, what was that? Oh, Jenny, I sent one to her for her to play with. And one of the things that she mentioned is they're great for using as a washi cutter because it has a nice edge. If you want to rip your washi nice and even, you can use that as well. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. I did not know that. So we have those in the store. I have some super exciting news. The Stamp Market, which if you watch my videos, is one of my absolute favorite ink pads for colored ink. For black ink, I love the VersaFine, and we have that in the store as often as we can get it in stock. For black ink, the VersaFine is my favorite, but for colored ink, I love the Stamp Market. I reached out to them and asked them if there was any way at all we could carry their inks in our store, and they said yes, and I'm super, super excited to say that we will be carrying their stamp inks in our store. So we have this size ink pad. They are in the store. They should be, if they're not in the store already, they will be within a week or so. So make sure you check back for that. I don't have all of the colors yet. We're working on that. It's just a stock issue, but we will keep adding them as we get them because they are my favorite inks and I love to use these. So the ones that I'm using today are Sunshine, Golden, Julep, Coral Reef, Navy, Coastal, and Breeze. So for these stamps, for the coffee stamp set, I'm using some different ones, but for these stamp sets, those are the colors that you will see in here. So this stamp set is part of the Modern Memory Keeping Kit. And I think one of the funnest things is this stack of books. So you get a small stack and then a real tall stack. Now you can combine those together like I did here. So you have the larger stack and you could add the smaller stack or the tall stack on top of that. And you can just keep going like I did here. So you could make a whole border on a page. You could break up the border or break up the line with one of the sayings like I did here as well. You could stamp them all in black. You could go in and add some colored pencil to these, would be really pretty. Or like I did here, I did them kind of in an ombre effect with the different ink colors. You can use just the small or the short stack and add a phrase and the little potted plant. You could add one of the phrases beneath. This one I added just the saying right there on that one. That one I added a saying above. So these are really, really easy to stack, especially with that cute little plant. I like that. And then the tall stack goes perfect with any one of the sayings. You can add that, any one of those works really well. You could even turn it on the side and run it sideways. You can add the little potted plant next to it. That works as well. And then the other thing that is this cute little, it's just like a little subtle little pattern, and they're just little plus signs, but they almost look like little twinkles. If you did them in the yellow, they create a pattern. You can create a fun little accent with those anywhere. You could even do a whole background with those as well. And then there is this nope, which I think is really funny. So if you're recording a memory that is not the best, this is a great little stamp. You could even stamp that and cut it out and create a die cut with that. But I thought it was funny next to the finally spring, because especially here in Michigan, the minute you think it's spring, it's not. So I thought the nope next to that was really funny. Same way with the real life. So it's just kind of a cute way to use those two together. But so that is a way of using and layering the Modern Memory Keeping stamps. And then next up, I have the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping set. And this, we're continuing on with our theme. This month we did include another journal box for you to use. And you have the month number, and then you have some fun things that you can add and layer in that box. So you can see here where I stamped the box a bunch of times. I added the month number, or you can add one of the cute little icons. There's a little journaling book. There is an alarm clock. So you can add that in that space as well. You could even layer a couple of things in that space if you wanted to. And then I put the March in a few spots in the larger area. And then I added, like this one, for instance, I did Perfectly Imperfect, added the little potted plant. I added Hello Spring with the little potted plant. And this is a great spot here for a subtitle or even a date stamp. If you have a date stamp, that works really well there. We did include the little box checklist. So one says reading, the other one says listening to, and that fits well in that smaller area too. And then this one I just did reading. I did March with the open book and the little cup of coffee or cup of tea, whatever you prefer. And then I left this open because this area could be used for journaling as well. So that's the fun of this, is that you can layer it however you want, and you can use it. You could add a title above it and then have the March. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use that box. It's super versatile, and it's been a really fun series that we've done. We will finish it up. May will be the last one, and you'll have a whole year. So that will be really neat that we have a whole year of them that you can go back and use. So here is where I did, like I mentioned, I added the little icon in there. I did Hello Spring with March. I flipped them around. I did the March here with the plant, did the Hello Spring in here, and then the listening to. So there's just so many ways that you can move those and flip them and use them. If you don't want to use the box, here are some examples of how I layered those items without using the box. So you have 3 March, Hello Spring, and then the cute little alarm clock. I layered the March over the month number, listening to with the little journal. I thought the little reading with just the book was cute as well. And then the perfectly imperfect with the plant would be really cute if you had a story about how you're having a hard time keeping your indoor plants alive. Hello Spring with the little mug. Hello Spring with the alarm clock. And then here you can see where I did just a bunch more layering. That open book is really, really cute to layer with a number of the little decorative pieces as well. So those are some ways to use the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit stamp set. Now, if you want to take these 2 stamp sets, and these, so as I mentioned, this is part of the Traveler's Notebook. This is part of the Modern Memory Keeping. If you get the stamp subscription, you always get these 2 stamps. So if you get the stamp subscription, you will get these 2 stamps as well. But if you wanted to layer, if you do get both of those stamps and you want some ideas on how to use all of them together, that's what I did here. And then again, I did the box. I love this with the stack of books next to it. So you have the stack of books, the open book, and then the currently reading. Really, really neat for a page there. We have the real life and perfectly imperfect, and then some more of the book icons, the little journal. So you can see where I took a lot of those items from each of them and then put them together. And even just this right here, right now, layers so cute with any of those icons. This one is just a nice, just simple real life with the little journal. And then favorites from today with the open book. I like that one as well. And then what I wanted to point out, which I forgot to do on the previous one, is the little plus mark stamp is designed to be able to be repeated. So when you stamp it, the way that it's set up, you move your stamp and you can continue on and you can build an entire background just the way that that's set up. So that's just something to remember. It makes it really easy to make backgrounds because they line up like puzzle pieces almost. So that is a look at how you would combine the 2 of them. So, and again, make sure you take the time. I say this, I've said this for a couple months now, but I think it's worth repeating. Take the time to take some scrap paper, some different colored inks, and a bunch of acrylic blocks and your stamp sets, and just start playing. Use that creative muscle, flex that creative muscle, and just start playing with them, layering, using different color combinations. And it's going to make you a lot more confident when you go to actually stamping on your layout or your project, because you've practiced and you've gotten used to it, and you can kind of see right without having to test it how you want to layer it and what will work with what. So just make sure you do that. Practice, because it's fun, actually. It's just, even if you've got creative block or you only have 20 minutes and you feel like relaxing, it's a fun way to relax too, because you can just play, and we need to do more of that. Now, my favorite stamp set, I love this so much, is the one from our coffee kit. It's a limited Special order coffee kit. It was a standalone kit. We did a pre-order a little while back. Those should be shipping out about mid-February is what I'm hoping. And each one of the kits gets this 4x6 stamp set. I couldn't stop at 3x4. There was too much I wanted in here, so you all are getting a big stamp set. But I just, like I said, I couldn't stop. There was too many things that I wanted to include that I liked. So there's a nice big stamp set. And these are these all work on their own. So easy to mix together because they're so fun. So the colors that I used here were my VersaFine Black, the Stamp Market Umber, this Catherine Pooler Icing on the Cake, which is a really nice brown, and then my Stampin' Up in Crumb Cake, and that's this lighter brown here, which I thought was perfect for a coffee ring. So I stamped the coffee ring a couple times. The coffee ring works basically with anything that you want to put inside or run through. It really does work with anything that you want to layer, or even just on a journal page or a layout. Just to stamp just the coffee ring kind of going off the page, I think adds a lot of interest to the page and makes a really neat layer. And then the little coffee beans, you have solid ones and you have outline ones. Those work really cute just as little added embellishments. There's one large coffee bean that is a nice little layer underneath as well. And then you have all of these cute little guys. I love these so much. These cute little coffee characters. They work really well with all of them. One of my favorites is this little guy with the drink your coffee, it's chaos out there. I love how that turned out. And then you have the plain coffee cup. You can do it coffee, and so you can see where I've added that one on each side with that one, and then just one with there. And then you got this little guy sleeping. So whether you get an iced coffee, you get an espresso, or you get a latte, it doesn't matter. We've tried to cover all of the bases with the little characters. There's a cute little definition stamp as well, but just a ton of fun sayings. And like I said, these kind of layer themselves. They're so easy to use and to layer. There's countless combinations, and you can see what I've done here with them. All of them would work, like I said, with the coffee ring. Just super, super fun. So I cannot wait to use these. For March, instead of doing my normal March planner setup, I'm going to use our minimalist collection with the coffee kit. So I get to play with these in my planner setup for March. So I'm pretty excited about that. So if you're wondering if there's any extras of these kits, because right now the only way you can get the stamp set is in the kit. We will have a handful of those that will go on sale. It will be after we ship the pre-orders out. So that's going to be mid to later February. So look for that. We will probably put up a listing for this stamp set simply for you to sign up for the wait list, because we don't have extras of this stamp set. To my knowledge, I do not anticipate having any extras, but I will throw up a listing for it after we've shipped everything out, just to gauge interest. If we get a lot of people sign up for the wait list, then I can order just the stamp set and we can put it in the store. So be watching for that, sign up for the wait list. That helps me know if there's enough interest for me to order it. So if you missed out, that's what we will do. So that is a little look at all of the stamp sets that we had for March. I hope you are inspired, and I'm excited to play with these. I hope you love the reading theme as well as the coffee theme, and make sure you play and stretch that creative muscle.